I'm outside Stamford Bridge with Adam W. Sweeney. Sweeney, you look a bit upset. Yeah. You look gutted.
Yeah, no, I am a little because, look, Chelsea were the better side. There's no doubt about that. You know, they dominated the game when they had the ball, which they had most of the time. But I just think the red card killed the game a little bit. I'm not saying Chelsea wouldn't have gone on to win it, and I think we all know that this was as tough a game as we could get in the FA Cup. I think when the name came out the hat and it was Chelsea, I think we knew that it was going to be a tough game. We were probably going to come here and lose, and I know that sounds odd as a United fan. We don't normally say that. I think it's just disappointing that the competitiveness was taken away from the game with that. What I thought was at least a soft first yellow, if not a soft second.
I think it was a soft both. I think the first was a soft yellow, the second was a soft yellow. Manchester United struggled to get back into the game. Do you feel that was something Mourinho had to change, maybe switch the system up?
I don't think there was a lot he could do, to be honest. I mean, he brought Fellaini on to try and change the game, but I just think when you look at to play Chelsea with 11 men is tough anyway, and sometimes you've got to know that you're in for a bit of a battle. And Chelsea against 11 is tough. Chelsea against 10 is even tougher. When you look at that midfield and you look at the back three they've got, look, David Luiz was outstanding again today. Everything that was hoofed up to Fellaini, normally he'll get maybe 50% of his head on. This time, David Luiz had it. You know, he had him in his back pocket. So Chelsea are a tough team to play. And as much as I'm disappointed, I'm always disappointed with the loss. Of course I am. And we're out of the FA Cup. We're not going to retain the title. But Chelsea are a good side, Dave. They really are, and I think we have to go away knowing that they're a tough side. We didn't have Zlatan Ibrahimovic, we didn't have Martial. Mkhitaryan clearly wasn't fit enough. He was probably only put in the side on the basis that we needed players with pace in the side. Exactly, yeah, we needed feet, we needed players, we needed forwards. So I think that's the disappointment, but I honestly don't think Jose could do much. I think we nullified them as much as we could in that first half. I thought fullbacks, in fact, all the way through the game, I thought fullbacks were nullified well. I thought Valencia was good. I thought Rojo had a great game as well. And actually, I thought centre-backs in general had a good game. I just think the one mistake that Smalling made was actually in the forward area when he played the ball back to a Chelsea player. Other than that, I think we've got to take away that we're building the Europa League, still the bigger trophy for us to win. And it's just a shame that we're out, but I
think there's positives. You know, we're coming to Stamford Bridge. These guys are top of the Premier League by 10 whole points. We've come and we've given them a game. They wouldn't have beaten us if we had 10 men. That would have gone penalties. That would have been 0-0 penalties. Mourinho set United out perfectly. In terms of, you know, maybe this season, next season, how close can we get to Chelsea?
Very close. I think when, you know, I honestly don't think we're that far off. I think defensively they are better. Yeah. And when I look at the quality of the centre backs that we've got, you know, you set up with a 3, we're not bad, but you still don't trust them enough. Yeah. Michael Carrick, I think, would have been a decent addition, but then I still think you're taking away a centre back, and as much as he gives you the passing range or the passing ability and maybe being able to control the game, you're still taking away a centre back. So I think quality of centre back, I think they trump us outright. But when we've got our players fit, you know, if you take away Hazard from that side, they're a much reduced side. We've taken away Martial, Ibrahimovic. Again, you take Costa and Hazard away from that side, they're a far reduced side. So we're not that far off, but at the minute they're a more polished side than we are, without a doubt.
It's one of the big things, you know, we mentioned Alonso at the start of the game like a big threat. Antonio Valencia had him in his back pocket for the entire game. Is Valencia the best right wing back in the Premier League?
For me, yeah, without a doubt. I think he's United's best player of the season as well. I can't think, honestly, off the top of my head, I can't think of a poor game that he's had all season. You know, he's had some great games, he's had some good games, and that's the lowest I've seen him. Today he was good again, I thought. Honestly, I thought defensively United were good. Yeah, I just think we lost it probably in the middle, and that's partly down to the fact that we lost Herrera, and we know how important he can be. And let's get it right. They had chances, but it was a cracking finish from Kante. I mean, you can't do. It was a good finish.
What really, really annoyed me was there was no pressure on the ball. United were so good, and it was that slight lapse of concentration. But I kind of agree with you that it was because they dropped a man in midfield. You know, they were going 6 at the back, 2 in central midfield, 2 up front. And they dropped that man that gave them that little advantage, and that is it.
You have Herrera back in that side because he's not sent off. And I'm not saying that Kante doesn't get a shot off, but it's harder. It's definitely tougher. But you've got to give him credit. It was a cracking finish. And if that's what beats us, a finish from that range, and it's a decent effort. Pogba had a similar chance later on in the second half. But we were reduced to a few chances, and I think that's in part down to the fact that Herrera was out the side for the second half. Chelsea are a good side, Devin. Do you know what? It's easy. We know this. It's easy to come out and criticise United and criticise Jose's subs. Chelsea are a good side. They had an extra man for most of the game. I just think we're moving in the right direction. There's no doubt about that. You look at the 4-0 when we lost in October. I think it was October. It was back at, we've only lost 2 games since then. One didn't matter. One did not matter because it was Hull away and it was an aggregate score that we needed. We're getting there. We are getting there. We're tough to beat. And tonight, I actually don't think we'll get beat in 90 minutes if Herrera's still on the pitch. Now, that's not necessarily the referee's fault. I think we could have maybe put more pressure on Kante, as you say. But the red card killed the competitiveness of the game, if not the result. Yeah,
I kind of blame the referee in terms of his game management. Very, very poor. But United, like you're saying, are going in the right way. And Jose Mourinho is taking United forward. We saw David Moyes, we saw Louis van Gaal. Now we're seeing Jose Mourinho's Manchester United. How much has changed?
A hell of a lot's changed. I think we are defensively better in as much as it's not about the quality of the centre backs hasn't changed. The squad at the back hasn't really changed. But I think the reason we were defensively good under Louis van Gaal is the fact that we had so much of the ball and we didn't really do anything with it. If you look at the chances missed, I mean, everyone talks about it. It annoys me a little bit when you listen to commentators talk about how good Zlatan Ibrahimovic has been. And look, he's been great. 26 goals, whatever he scored this season, is a phenomenal return for his first season at the age of 35. But I think we all can say he's probably also been one of the poorest centre-forwards in the league in terms of chances converted. It's not been great.
It's a real interesting one. He has missed the most big chances in the Premier League, but again, he's won United games. And I think it's that thing that United need to work on is when Zlatan has an off day, somebody else needs to score a goal. And today, Marcus Rashford could have been that guy. How upset were you with his missed chance? Did you cry?
I was disappointed, but then he shouldn't have been in the side in the first place. Based on what Jose, I think said before the game, he said that it was Rashford's decision to play. He wasn't well, but he made the decision to come down and play the game. So you have to give him credit there because without him, I think we'd have struggled massively anyway. And I look, we didn't have Zlatan, we didn't have Martial. That always makes it tough. Defensively, we were as good as I think we could have been.
Yeah, he's going forward.
Rooney as well was missing. I think that's always going to make it tough. So in the forward areas, we were lacking massively. I think if we have those forward players, we give them more of a game. Again, whether they, win the game still or not, we don't know. But we give them more of a game.
Fantastic. Anyway, if you want to check out Adam W. Sweeney on Twitter, make sure you follow him, but also subscribe to Full Time Devils because we're the